Now that we have our use scenarios created, we can begin working on our wireframes. Hopefully you've gone through the Adobe XD and user interface design principles learning exercises so that you can know how to use Adobe XD, or at least the basics for it. Right now I have it opened up in my Mac, and so you see this Mac user interface, but it's very similar. All the commands and all of the clicks that you would need to do are all very similar to what's in Windows as well, so you don't have to worry about that transition. I have already made here two use scenarios made into wireframes. So let's go ahead and jump in and see what we need to do in order to make our use scenarios into wireframes. And the first one I'm going to click on is customer signs up for an account. So we already made this use scenario. So I'm going to pull up that use scenario as well. Let me pull this over here so we can take a look at it. So customer signs up for an account. All right, so we say the scenario begins on the home page. So I'm going to hit Control and then zoom in. On Mac it's Command, and then on Windows it's Control. I'm going to open this up a little bit so we can see it a little bit better. So let's zoom in here. So here I've created a very basic wireframe. This is my front page, this very first slide here. And it just says hotel booking system at the top, and it has one sign up button. So all we're doing in this is covering the features from the user account section. So we don't have anything created from our employees section yet, or employee actions section yet. So at this point, all our system needs to do, I'm so sorry, my scroll button here. All the system needs to do is allow customers to sign up, and it'll allow for employees to be added to the system. So that's all we need to design for at this point. So let's pull this up again. So let's pull this down. So here I don't have anything on my home page. I just have a sign up button because that's all our customer is going to need to be able to do. So I'm going to hit my spacebar and move over. I've created several components. You should use these components in your wireframes. These are so everything from what form fields look like, what forms look like, what our button colors are. So you should copy everything from here to create your wireframes, and I'll show you how to do that in an upcoming video here, but let's walk through this. So here's our sign up form. So when we were in our use scenario, it said scenario begins on homepage, customer clicks sign up, customer sees sign up form. So that's what we see, that's exactly what we see. Then customer sees sign up form, customer enters Laura, and customer enters Jones. So we're going to see that they'll then enter Laura, then they'll enter Jones. Now these are each individual steps, and so our wireframe will need to account for that. So our the customer enters Laura, that's one step. Customer enters Jones, that's the next step. And you'll see why we're doing it this way in just a second. Let me just keep walking through this. Customer enters lauraj05@gmail.com, and that's for the email. Then they are going to enter their username here in the next step, and then their password in the next step. And then I've decided to separate out that payment information step on my sign up form so that it's distinguished, and they know it's just more clear about what they're doing. So they've entered their password, so I'm gonna scroll out real quick so I can see where I'm going. Okay, so they enter the payment card information, first the card, then the expiration date. Hopefully you can see that. First the card, then the expiration date. Then they're going to click create account. And notice that that is exactly what my use scenario says. So they see the sign up form, they enter Laura, they enter Jones, then they enter their email, username, password, payment information, and then they click create account. And then what do they see after they click create account? They see the home page, and it's empty still, right? Because we still don't have anything in our system yet. All we're creating at this point is that customer account section. But now, instead of seeing sign up, that sign up button's gone because they're logged in, so they're in the system. So that would complete our wireframe. So why then do we have them all individual wireframes for each step? So I'm going to pull this down here so you can see. So I've gone ahead and I've clicked play. So you saw, well, let me exit out and show you how I did that. So hopefully in Adobe XD you saw that you can, once you create wireframes, you can come and preview them. And so I just clicked preview. I'm clicked on that first page. So here's my first page. So when I click sign up, okay, I should be able to walk through each one of these steps and do exactly what the user is doing. So I click sign up. Okay, I enter her first name, last name, email, username, password, credit card information, expiration date. Now I click create account and it takes me to this page. So I should be able to walk through the system and just do each step along the way. I went in to create those steps. I went into the prototype section. Again, this is something that you should have seen in the tutorial, but I'll show you just real quick. I went into the prototype section and I just added a transition to each one of these steps. And it just takes me to that next board. When they click last name, you see that last name. When they clicked the email, it takes me to this page where the added email is, and so on and so forth.